104.7 The Cave, Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens.
Right out the gate.
In the studio. It's
right out the gate, technical difficulties.
Always the way we start
on?
this podcast with technical difficulties before we figure out how to work these things again. I'm Mike the Intern. This is Jay Stevens. And today on Dark Side of the Stream, we are going to discuss the new documentary film on Netflix, Sins of Our Mother. Jay's pick for our 106th episode.
Gosh, man.
Tells the story of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell and the storm that followed them. Straight out of the gate, another crazy story involving the LDS Church.
Yeah,
my man.
What's going on with these?
I don't know. Last time we got on that line, we recorded an entire podcast,
and we had to redo it.
And we had to redo it because Mike
came too heated.
Mike came in a little too hot that day, so we had to redo it. I don't want to go there again, but yeah, tells the story of Lori Vallow, her ex-husband, her children.
She seemed like a normal chick at one point.
Well, yeah, yes and no. There were signs, I think, early on that she had some mental issues going forward. And I think if
don't we all
the police early on when her ex-husband was involved, when he was still alive, that is, when he tried to get the police involved, no one believed him because everything
he was the crazy guy.
Everything he was saying came across like, this dude's, what is he talking about? Darkness and light and demons.
Sound like a classic
and all these things. And
classic.
The cops are like,
parent struggle.
And then they bring her in, and she's
normal.
She straight talks the thing,
charms them.
I think got her daughter kind of in line to what that she needed to say, and the cops were like,
was crazy.
If you need an evaluation, you can go get one, but it's not a big deal. Well, then within like a week, her husband's dead. And then going back, the cops were like, we should have saw the warning signs.
Yeah.
And then on top of the fact that, like, or straight out of the gate, when her ex-husband got shot by her brother, which is that story, you would think like every time something would happen in the story, you're just like, oh my God. I came in whenever everyone else did, which was like, where are her kids? Like when the media started really picking up on this. But then when you get back and further and further and further and how all this started, it really started with, her ex-husband, and bro,
dude,
crazy, man.
I in real time, I remember hearing about the story only because the Hawaii element.
Yeah, Kauai.
They're like, we arrested this couple in Kauai. The kids have been missing for a while, and I was like, what's up with this?
Kauai? Is that?
Yeah, I've been to Kauai.
Is it cool? Beautiful?
It's more smaller than the island I was from, so it's very, very
like remote.
Like more like a tropical island instead of like a town.
So it's kind of more of the tourist vibe, I guess, than anything else.
Probably not even that. Just like shacks, It's
really.
I mean, I was there years ago, but it's a very small and more underdeveloped than the Big Island.
The Big Islands are. That's cool. There's so many layers to the story. It's just unbelievable. But really, it starts with a guy pretending to be a prophet.
Right.
Really.
Again, another one of these LDS. What is it? LDS guys trying to saying he's a prophet.
Chad Daybell claimed that he had a near-death experience. He was cliff diving or in Utah or something, got knocked out, and then Jesus or God spoke to him and said that, you're the second coming. You're the one that needs to be the one to help us get through the apocalypse. So he starts releasing these books, and there are a lot of these guys out there. But they even had a woman on there that claims she literally interviewing her, claiming that
he's crazy,
talks,
but I talk to people too.
I talk to God.
Yeah.
But that's not the right one. He's actually talking to Satan. And again, it's like, dude,
well,
which is it?
But then whoever with these voices were telling, they were grading people.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later on because
what's your number? What's your number?
Jay and I are going to try and figure out where we're at on the scale.
I think I'd be pretty dark.
Let's do it next. Dark Side of the Stream continues. We'll rate how much demons we have inside our souls next on 104.7 The Cave. .7 The Cave, Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio, Dark Side of the Stream, episode 106, discussing Sins of Our Mother. Now, before we try and figure out where we're at on the light and dark scale, the one thing about this documentary I thought was incredible was they had it literally first from Lori's son, who was her firstborn son. He luckily had been married and had a kid. And
Seems
was
like a normal
away.
dude. Yeah,
he was. And even like he really tried for his brother and sister to try and get them, find out what was going on. Obviously it was difficult for him because it, involved his mother. And I can't even imagine what kind of position that would be for
right.
you.
And his grandma was such in denial.
Dude, she was just as bad as his mom, though, man. Like literally went on TV. It's like she's innocent. She's innocent. Even after the fact, it was kind of still like begrudgingly admitting the fact that, oh yeah, well, maybe, she did the blah 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 blah. Whatever the case may be. The crazy tree was definitely close to the farm.
I mean, there's a repeated pattern of this too. If so, somebody and all of a sudden their kids are missing, and you ask, hey, where's your kids? And they don't just give you an answer. That should probably be a red flag. Like universal red flag.
Try to pin it on her friend.
Yeah, and her friend was like, no, hold up now. Hold up. Don't drag me into this.
That was so
that should have been another red flag.
Yeah. The couple things that I wrote down was that, I think she already had kind of the seeds of crazy in her, but then she was definitely abused in her first marriage. And then she finds another guy, and the crazy starts to take over. Eventually, I guess her brother tased this dude in the groin, which that was a crazy story. I really think that she definitely had some sort of disorder. Had she gone to seek help, it may have been treated, but she didn't, and just kept going further and further, becoming really obsessed with the apocalypse.
And everybody around them started dying.
Yeah, and just started feeding it. She became a prepper, not in the sense that like I have a bug out bag. That stuff I can see, but like we're talking like pounds and pounds of rice and yeast, and basically prepping with the fact that they were going to be part of the 144,000 that were remaining after the apocalypse was supposed to happen. I think they called it was like in 2020 it was supposed to go down. Surprise, it didn't happen.
Damn it.
But part of their thought process was that some of us in the world now were zombies.
Oh yeah, living zombies. So, got to take them out.
And on that scale, they had to take out like 20,000 people that were zombies living in the world, and they were going to kill them all.
And they started to.
And they started with her ex-husband, who was a demon named Ned, which I thought was hilarious. Yeah. Or Nick. Ned or Nick. I've almost asked Ned that.
I think it was Ned.
I didn't want to scare him. Be like,
demon
hey,
Ned.
Man, where are you on the light and dark list?
No.
So yeah, I'm definitely on the dark side. I probably got 3 demons in me right now.
Yeah, she'd probably think.
We're both on the dark side. Good thing we didn't cross paths with these people,
right?
We'd be
I mean, our podcast is called "The Dark Side of the Stream."
I just can't. Yeah,
we're done.
They're kind of tongue in cheek.
They might be coming for us right now.
I just can't believe that she was able to get her brother to pull all of these acts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, like if I ever come to you and say like, "Hey, can you kill somebody for me?" Tell me no.
It's her brother too, and like the way they would have these text conversations, like, "Oh, bad news about our brother. He's a demon now."
Yeah,
and he'd be like, "Oh,
you
yeah,
got to take him out." Oh, all right, I'll go get him.
What? I guess
my own kids are demons now. We're gonna have to take them out, guys.
I've definitely thought that before, but then you come snack back to reality. And you're like, no, they're just 2. It's a 2-year-old kid. It's just my heart breaks for those children, for her older son, and
for the guys trying to raise red flags, like the son and the ex-husband
who literally
everybody thought he was crazy, and he could have stopped.
And the cop's like, nah, you're crazy.
Yeah, he did come across a little crazy.
I got more notes to talk about next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. "104.7 The Cave." Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio. Episode 106, Dark Side of the Stream, discussing sins of our mother. So another thing that they believed in this cult, or whatever you want to call it, the Chad Daybell Fellowship. I don't know. I just don't know how some
classic Chad,
some schlep like this guy, first of all, scores a chick like that. Lori was good looking.
Yeah, at one point she was cute.
She was a Miss Texas at one point.
Yeah, I would have.
You got this guy figuring out how to get a chick like
comes
that.
In, yeah.
Well, guys, if you're listening and you see a hot chick you want to score with, just pretend you're either Jay Stevens or you're some sort of prophet, because it might work.
The line is very, very close.
It's very slim. But yeah, the other thing that they believed was that they were the reincarnations of. She believed like the reincarnation of Joseph Smith's wife, and I don't know what Daybell thought he was a reincarnation of, but that
She
was
had a
something else.
podcast out there. It was
Preparing a
whacked
people
out. Yeah.
was the conference they met at, the Feel the Fire podcast, which I have not listened
Have
to.
you should check it out.
I don't know if
It
I
sounded
don't
pretty
know if
riveting.
I want to. I just
It's one of those another podcast where they talk like this. And oh yeah, that's the end of it.
Welcome
Oh, yeah,
to our
that's great.
podcast
Oh,
today.
thanks,
We're
man.
talking about
Thanks
the
for
end
having me.
times,
Thanks for having me
which
here.
we're 6 months away
What
from.
about the price of gas?
Maybe we should flip
we're
this and
unhappy
Dark
with the
Side of the
price
Stream
of
and just talk
gas.
about the end of the world.
Just talk about the end of the
the world
world.
of the world. It's
You
signs
know,
are
we're all
everywhere,
going to be
man.
saved. We're all
Signs are
gonna be
everywhere.
saved. Listen to the cave, and
Listen to the
you'll be on
cave.
that white list. You'll
Listen
be
to the cave at 6 p.m.
every
play it
day,
backwards,
every day, and
then
you'll
you will
be
find the true
one of the
answers,
chosen ones.
the true answers. See,
more,
we
more
would
to
never,
come. More to
we'd ne-
come on the next segment.
We'd never make it as prophets, dude. We just you could just see the BS line rising and rising.
Our
and
cult would have to be what everyone's naked, right?
Yeah, definitely,
Because
definitely naked times.
Because clothes are how demons can hold you down.
I actually say clothes optional. Definitely heavy drug use.
Yeah, heavy drug use in our
have
cult.
a cult without heavy drug use. Are we gonna listen to are we gonna be one of those where like we are kind of like the folksy kind of listening to like folksy song cult? Or we're gonna be
I'm
like
thinking EDM. I'm thinking EDM.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Chill EDM. Well,
is that where we split in cults?
That's where
like
our cults.
Mine is like the metal cult, and yours is the EDM cult.
Mine's EDM and naked cult, and
okay.
we all sit.
It all started
fields.
here, Dark Side of the Cult, and then we split into splinter cults.
Brother Mike and brother Jay, brother husband Mike and brother husband Jay
started as a couple, and then we branched out with many other brother husbands.
Because we both are the chosen ones.
What's the goal of this cult anyway?
I think you just try to have sex with everybody, right?
I see. That's the other splint. Is I'm in it for the money. Because I think the sex will follow the money, so I want the money first. The sex is great afterwards.
Well, on your side, you try that, and I'll try the other way around, and then we'll see. We'll meet up at the end. See who has the better cult.
Follow us here. Praise
How
Brother
to form
Jay.
a cult this morning on 104.7 The Cave.
Mike, the intern, Jay Stevens, back one more time. Dark Side of the Stream, episode 106, discussing sins of our mother. So how many inside demon level would you give? They were levels? Like DD, D, 3D, 3L,
14D, 7D.
And it's like, dude, it just came up with this. I mental health is a big deal.
Dude wrote a lot of books though, and
but anyone can.
He had a good hustle. A guy had a good hustle.
Vince Neil wrote a book. That doesn't mean anything, bro. And he probably didn't even write it. He's like, yeah, just put my name on that.
You got a ghostwriter and just say, all right.
I was 6.5 feet tall, and that's right. So yeah, I give it 4 stars because I thought the journalist or whoever was behind this thing did a great job covering all the bases of this incredibly crazy story.
Well, because there was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on. The getting the son involved in the way they did. I'm assuming they're the ones that flew him out to Kauai for the memorial they did for his dad. Because I mean, he looked at that guy as his dad. You know what I mean? His real dad wasn't around. He was abusive.
Right.
This guy came in and helped raise him along with his brother and sister. It was gut wrenching. It really is. They both are facing trial, which will happen next year. So I'm sure that will be live streamed across the world for all of us to watch them just break down. I wonder if they still believe that we're all demons. Maybe they feel like they're trapped. How long does the lie continue?
Yeah, it's and what eventually did we figure out how the kids what happened to the kids?
They have not, and that's the end of the documentary. They haven't released what the results of the autopsies were with the ex-husband. Well, no, they did with the ex-husband. Tammy and the 2 kids, they did not. Right. Tammy being Chad's ex-wife, who died of natural causes at 40 with no health problems. Yeah, right. And then the thing they did say about the ex-husband was that he was shot again while he was on the ground, which is the kill shot. I don't know how they just let that go and say no.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. You're like,
self-defense.
oh, you're good.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no.
you're staying down.
Wait,
Boom.
you
Like,
so you
no.
went to he got shot and you ended up taking the kid to school and going to Taco Bell
And then going to Walgreens to buy some flip-flops.
yeah.
Then you came home to make sure everything was cool. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Another red flag.
Again, the cops really dropped the ball there, man. They really dropped the
Well,
ball on
I
that
mean,
one.
I just think lesson learned of it all. If somebody's kids are you're not seeing somebody's kids around,
But
and
at
you
that
ask them
point,
and
it
they
was
don't have an
already
answer.
too late because I mean, the other thing that was gut wrenching is that they had a photo of the youngest boy, JJ, in the jammers he was found in. So that pretty much tells investigators that was the last time anyone ever saw him that day. And that I just can't. I can't as
I don't
a
like that
parent,
stuff.
dude.
Yeah, I don't like
it's
that
just
stuff.
like, how do you do it? Well, again, with people that are liars and believe the lie, once you go so far in, there's no coming back because your whole world becomes around this thing. So it's easier for this mother to kill her kids because she thinks it's a demon than admit, oh my God, I killed my ex-husband and this guy's been stringing me along and this is all BS. I can't believe I've done this. Oh my God. That's harder for her to than kill her own children because it's easier to admit that they're demons and they're not there anymore. Wow. That's crazy, dude.
So watch it. It's gonna obviously upset everyone,
bro. It's gut-wrenching. But I will give you credit, Jay, because it
was a good find.
It was a lot more than I thought. So I definitely give it
find.
4 demons.
Yeah, I'll go 4 demons. Sure. Yeah, 4 demons.
Next week is my pick. We're gonna do the real bling ring. A bunch of kids were stealing from a bunch of celebrity homes in Hollywood, California.
Okay, that's fun.
So yeah,
that's like Robin Hood, dude.
In my opinion, yeah.
That's Robin Hood. Fair game, dog.
Why do you need $1 million necklace?
Yeah.
Spread the wealth, my man. Anarchy, baby.
We're not too far from that. So
that's true.
Be careful.
Yeah, I know. You can.
Two radio DJs incite riot in Springfield, Missouri.
Look, we don't have anything, so don't come to my house.
If anybody's stealing anything, there's way better targets than my house.
Unless you want a bunch of used records and a bunch of costumes from this guy, you're not getting much. Anyway, you can stream the show online, 1047thecave.com every Thursday, 9 a.m., 6 p.m. You can
Demons got to him. The demons got to him.
They want you up late. Watch backwards. Stream us on Facebook, YouTube.
Find our podcast wherever you find your podcast. We'll share our stories. And,
this is Jay Stevens.
Yeah, join our cult. Today's the day. Today's the day.
As we fight the coming apocalypse on Dark Side of the Stream.
Clothing optional.
104.7 The Cave. Goodbye.
So you don't have to.